Alright, hello and welcome to Echoes of Color with Jefferey Morrison. How's it going? Today we're going to do another WIP and chat here with Diamond Art Club's So Many Books, So Little Time by Randall Spangler. Alright, it's this epic piece. We're down here, middle. Alright, square drill. 22 inches by 43 inches, 56 centimeters by 109 centimeters. 53 colors, including 2 ABs, which stands for Aurora Borealis, and they're an iridescent coated type of drill that sparkles a little brighter than that of regular drills. Anything under color code or DMC code 150 is considered an AB from Diamond Art Club. Okay, I'll mention that like every time, but yeah, it's fun. Okay, just so you know what's going on. Alright, so alright, so working on like a lighter gray, I believe. There's a brief time lapse because one of my parents was in the studio. I paused, and yeah, you'd notice like a little jump in like drills and the canvas filled. So yeah, that's what that was. It's all good. I probably explained it at the time, so all good. So now, yeah, we're just filling in the rest of this book here. Still have like the floor to fill in. There's like a bit of the spine to fill in here. Yeah, part of this cookie, and then yeah, the floor. Yeah, not too much to this section, but it's all good. But yeah, I'm just doing this forward slash kind of color right now. It's like a lighter gray. So now there's a couple shades of gray going here on this canvas. So this is a multi-shaded colored kind of piece. So it's amazing how colors can complement one another or work side by side to create something incredible. So there you go. Art. Alright, so there we go. Yeah. Just the shadowing is just amazing on here. The shading. Just holy. It's amazing. How this canvas can come to life. Alright, we'll just continue on. So it's kind of like a color block of this symbol. Yeah. Yeah, this section's gone by pretty quick, my opinion. But yeah, it's only been a couple days. So I don't consistently work on this by any means, on a canvas by any means, so yeah, there'll be times when there'll be days where I don't touch canvas at all, but because I'm headed into night shift, another 4 weeks of night shift at my full-time, so it kind of tweaks with the time that I can diamond paint. But yeah, we'll figure it out. As always, I'm in no rush here on Echoes of Color to finish any particular canvas. Just take my time, hang out, interact with the community. Yeah. Yeah, just get her done. So yeah, headed to my brother's later. It's in like a couple hours now, so yep. This is my third WIP and chat of the day. So I'm not counting, but yeah, just when there's an opportunity to sit down and diamond paint for a bit, yeah, let's take it. Alright, almost done filling. this in. Yeah, in the next section I'll just dive right back into filling in the book. Yeah, just ever so slight. Yeah, there's another segment of this bottom book here that got a shade in the pages of, and then there'll be more pages, part of a cookie. Yeah. Just keep climbing this thing, and we'll just uncover a lot more elements of the whole piece. But yeah, just a heads up, you'll be seeing a lot of books and pages, these grays and light browns kind of thing for a bit. There'll still be a bit of color. There's another marble in this far right hand corner, bottom right hand corner, part of one. So there'll be spurts of color, but it's not incredible for a bit. Just giving you a heads up. You might hear sanding in the background. My dad's downstairs below me, under the studio. The addition here. So it's just doing this thing, getting some stuff done before, yeah, we have to go. Yeah, this afternoon. So we'll be at my brother's for supper anyway. Yeah. And we'll hang out for a bit, I'm sure. So all good. Alright, I'll pull the canvas up a bit. Yeah. Time I work on this thing, I think it just like slides down somehow, for some reason. Yeah. Oh, it just moves on its own. Alright, so almost done with this symbol here. And we'll go to a brown, I believe. And yeah, start filling in the floor down at the bottom here. Yeah, this capital C is, yeah, part of the floor. Yeah, see how it goes. Just hit record, see what happens in the half hour. So it's amazing what you can accomplish in a small amount of time. So yeah. Yeah, didn't expect to see this pink again, this really light pink. Thought it was just going to show up in the cat's paws since we get up to the end of the second row. But here we are. Symbol number 5. And like the number 5 as a symbol. There we go. That's better wording. There's this light pink. Okay. I wasn't going to see it for a bit, but surprise. This bookmark was just like a purple. Apparently not. The plot thickens. Alrighty. Yeah, I've been doing 3 WIP and chats in a day for a couple days recently. Yeah, it's just, I had the opportunity to, so just jumped on that. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Well, it might slow down considerably, considering my shift change coming up, so yeah. I don't know, just do what I can, just hang it. Hopefully your crafting and hobbies are going well. Just relaxing today, taking it easy. Just hanging out. Yep, just post these WIP and chats so anybody can just glance at them anytime. think you necessarily have to watch all of them if you don't want to, just to get an idea. Nothing too hardcore. It's not like this is a podcast or anything, so would that be interesting? What to talk about in a podcast? Yikes. Just be like a whole other block of time to produce content. Sit there and talk in a microphone while recording and talk about something. I don't know. It keep some people busy, so I don't know. It's not like a bad thing. It's like an audiobook. Listen somebody narrate or tell a story. Read from a book. And then record it. Audiobook. Supposedly counts as reading. Okay, and I think it's kind of cheating, but okay. Well, if you can't see to read a book, listening to it, yeah, that works. It counts as reading a book then, yeah. Because you can't see text on a page and interact with the page that way. That's how you hear a story. So, okay. I guess. Count it. If you're blind, it doesn't mean it's a barrier. You just do things differently. If you can't walk or have limited ability to do so, or limited movement, you find an alternate way. So, yeah, it's kind of like that. But the two are totally different. Blind, you can't see what's around you, but you either have a guide dog or a cane, or your senses magnify, your other senses magnify, and you just pick up cues, feel textures, yeah. I can kind of relate with not being able to walk. I did that with, I was able to move around when I had a broken leg, a spiral tibia fracture years ago. And I moved around with crutches, but it's not quite the same as walking. Your mobility is considerably limited, and walking up the stairs, for instance, is has a totally different viewpoint to it compared to just walking up the stairs. So there's always a different perspective, and yeah, you learn from those experiences. Just by either seeing somebody in a wheelchair or with crutches, or experiencing it yourself personally, having to use crutches for like a year. Yeah, I was homeschooled for part of a year, or that year. Yeah, it's got homework and stuff brought to me, and yeah, just did the assignments and handed them in that way. I think I printed stuff off or something, but yeah, certainly, yeah, different perspective. If you have limited ability to do something that's just second nature to somebody else. Pretty sure I've talked about this disability stuff before. Yep, yeah, it comes up every now and then. That in no way makes you, having a disability in no way makes you less human or anything. You just find a different way to do something. And yeah, it's manageable, different, but it just becomes a way of life. You just have to make a few changes, and your perspective changes. So, through one. I don't know, there were times when I was in crutches and I had to be driven around to get to school, and when I normally just would walk to school. That was for a little while before I went to a high school where it wasn't accessible, like no elevator or anything, and it was all stairs, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this when I have like courses on like the upper floors and I have to go up multiple flights of stairs in order to get to those classrooms. It's like, yeah, no, I can't do this. Like, can't spend like multiple days and like my leg hurting and yeah, just having to deal with stairs. So I ended up getting homeschooled and all that, so that's what led to that. But that was just for a year. There's absolutely no comparison to just doing that for the rest of your life or for multiple years. But I certainly developed a sense of what it felt like to not be able to walk properly for a period of time. Yeah. I kind of guilt-tripped for a while. Felt sorry for myself. Felt like I was a burden to other people. It just... What lingers in your mind the whole entire time you get injured? Oh, somebody had to call an ambulance. People had to come get me. Somebody had to spend time putting a cast on my leg. It's like, just why did I dive into such a mindset of like guilt? It's just it's so weird. Like, once you know how to do something independently, like once you're trained and taught how to do something, or yeah, basics of living, all of a sudden that independence like just vacates. Yeah, just brought on those feelings of guilt or just annoyance even. It's just like, I should be able to do this myself, but now somebody else has to spend time helping me out. Just what an odd flip of a coin feeling to have for a very long time. Just yikes. Kind of gives me the chills to like think or talk about it again, but you're just never quite the same after something like that. Breaking your leg, or yeah, your bones are never the same. Like, it's set properly and everything, like, yeah, but you're just not the same after. It's kind of like a crumpled piece of paper. Crumple up just like a lined piece of paper into a ball and then try to flatten it out. It's going to be wrinkled, maybe torn in some spots. You're not the same, but you develop the understanding that, yeah, it's different. It's still that piece of paper, but it's been through stuff. It was crumpled up. Its appearance has been altered, but flattened out, you just see a couple differences. It feels differently. It looks a bit different. Yeah, so every time I see somebody using crutches, it's like, yeah, I've been there. I'll get the door for them. If they're in a circumstance that nearby and they're trying to get somewhere, like a coffee shop or something, you can still go about your life, but it's just that ever so slight difference. My first cast for the first half of the year was hip to toe. Yeah, it was a higher plaster cast, and then the second half of the year was a walking cast, I believe. Yep. Or upper leg to toes, I think it was the first cast. But yeah, it's certainly different. So you can't really fully comprehend what somebody's going through on the outside until you're told how somebody feels, how it's expressed, if it's expressed to you by that individual. Like, yeah, you develop a perception or just, I don't know, knee-jerk kind of judgment of somebody in a situation like that or in that context, and then it's probably a totally different expression when the person that's injured or in that circumstance expresses themselves and how they really feel. So, yeah. Perspective goes many different ways. Yeah, it kind of feels odd that I just felt bad for myself like that for a long chunk of time in that year. But there are just some circumstances where, yeah, you can't do what you used to be able to do as easily. Yeah. Like, what if you suddenly stopped being able to hear? That's like a totally different sensation entirely. Man, that'd be rougher than sight and not being able to walk. That's a totally different landscape right there. I can even relate to that. Wow, just not being able to hear. But yeah, if you had just lost sense of hearing, of course, as I mentioned, your other senses would strengthen. Like, if you were able to see but not hear, you'd certainly be a little more attentive to visual cues and details of the surroundings around you. Yeah, totally. Oh, hearing, like, that'd be a rough one. Really rough. Like, no more music. Like, be able to hear music or watch a movie. Yeah, that'd be a huge hit. It would just really be deep psychological hit. Not easy traversal right there. Losing hearing. Yikes. But it's a reality for some people. Having lost one of your senses. Yikes. Or abilities to do something. Yeah. Something to think about. Yeah, so I can relate to somebody using crutches or being in a wheelchair. Really never ended up in a wheelchair, but yeah, I'll just say I relate to somebody being in crutches with a broken leg, etc. Yeah, I can relate to the broken leg part. So, yeah. All it took for me to break my leg was slipping on a patch of black ice under a thin blanket of snow. Within seconds, I was on the ground and my leg was broken. So, yeah. First day back from Christmas holidays, probably like over a decade ago. Yeah. Or 2 decades ago. Just yikes. And to this day, if you have a broken bone or an old injury, you're going to feel phantom pain or soreness where the bone mended or where you hurt yourself. Yeah, you'll just a sensation you'll probably feel when the weather changes, when bad weather comes along. It's just, I guess, the body's natural perception of atmosphere changes or something. It probably just your body's way of sensing the environment, like adapting to the environment or something. Something physiological. But yeah, there's a little insight into perspective. Good or bad, you just don't know sometimes until you experience it yourself or are told of a perspective. So, something to think about. I think about it every now and then. So yeah, thankful for what I have, but understanding what somebody else could be going through, or having a certain I don't know, relation to seeing somebody injured to the extent that I was all those years ago. I can relate to it. So, empathy, I guess. A form of empathy. But anyway, you've been watching Echoes of Color with Jeffery Morrison. Down below in the description, I put main website links for Conqueror and Pacer, just two physical activity apps or websites where you can earn medals for completing virtual challenges, either world locations or fictional locations. For example, Lord of the Rings could travel across Middle Earth across 8 medals, like 2 bundles. So, yeah. Just total curiosity thing. I'm not affiliated or partnered with Conqueror or Pacer in any way. It's just a curiosity thing, so that's why I put it down there. Any updates to Echoes of Color here will be on YouTube, form of posts. Just go to my channel page, add Echoes of Color. I guess if you put it in the search bar in YouTube, you'll probably be taken to it. I guess that might be one way to get to it. So follow, subscribe, leave a comment, a like if you want to kind of further interact. I appreciate having anybody here to view, leave a comment, so it's all good having you. Thanks for watching. Always appreciate the support, and I'll see you again sometime soon. Okay, bye. Take care.